Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Scumdogs Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and tonight we're going to be looking at the Winchester Mystery House. We're going to look at the stories behind it, and we're going to have some fun. But first, while we wait for people to gather in the chat, let me go off and show off some artwork from my own upcoming graphic novel, Scumdogs. Okay? Then we're going to have some fun. Let me go over here. Here is my extreme 90s cover for my graphic novel, Scumdogs. Scumdogs is a parody comic book. I parody the cartoons from the 80s. The stars of the comic are the Scumdogs, who are basically parodies of villains from 80s cartoons. You'll see a lot of characters in this comic book that will remind you of being a kid when you were watching Saturday morning cartoons. Now let's get into this. The Scumdogs are former pro athletes. They used to compete in sporting events, basically held with superhuman athletes as the competitors. And this happens in the future, known as the Scumdog sports, because in the future there's such a thing known as transhumanism, where people can basically transform themselves and improve themselves either through genetic engineering or cybernetics. Well, the Scumdogs transform themselves into monsters to compete in these sporting events known as the Scumdog sports, either through science or through magic. And what happens when they get banned from sports? Well, they're called Scumdogs. They're called Scumdogs because they traded in their humanity. But what happens when they get banned from sports? The Scumdogs decide to take over the universe. They're led by Deathmug. He's the guy over here with the metal mask. Well, the purple guy in the middle mask. He's based on various villains from 80s cartoons. As you see, he's got a skull face, very much like Skeletor from He-Man, because they both have that. But it's also, if you notice, it's also a metal mask that looks very much like the mask that of the main villain from G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander, the leader of Cobra. Looks very much like that, the leader from G.I. Joe and stuff. Now, Deathmug is an arrogant, overblown dictator who wants to rule the universe, and you can see him fighting his archenemy Buick Starpoon, the guy with the pink pompadour hair over there. Now, Buick Starpoon and his team are basically G.I. Joe parodies as well as crossed over with Star Trek and Star Wars characters. Think of him as like a Duke from G.I. Joe crossed over, along with Han Solo and Captain Kirk. You can see in the way his uniform looks, how it looks like it's from Star Trek. You see it? His green and white uniform. Now, because they're G.I. Joe parodies, that means each of them is a military specialty. Like a G.I. Joe, if you read on the back of the boxes those toys came in, they would list their military specialties, their special skills and abilities. They each have those as well. Now, let's go over there and look at the other. Now, Buick Starpoon is an arrogant, overblown military guy who never listens to anyone and gets him and his team, the Wild Rangers, in over their heads constantly when they're fighting the Scumdogs. So, and the only way they get out is by blasting their way out. I mean, they're good, but they're also complete morons. Now, the other members of Buick Starpoon's team, the Wild Rangers, you can see in this cover because they each wear a similar uniform. This guy with the mohawk in the darker blue uniform is named Roadhog. His military specialty is that he's a soldier. He used to be part of the United States Army, and now he's one of the Wild Rangers. Then you have this bald guy with a gun down here. Yeah. This guy's name is Beach Pounder. His military specialty is that he's a Marine. Then you have this guy back here in the red uniform driving that vehicle, firing off his missiles. His name is Blast Tank. His military specialty is that he's a heavy vehicle specialist. You know, a tanker. You know those guys who go around driving tanks. Now this and stuff. Now, this cover is one of 3 different variant covers you'll be able to back when my Indiegogo goes live, so you have that to look forward to, too. Okay, folks? Now, let's go over here and look at Girl Friday. Girl Friday is another member of the Wild Rangers. She's basically, if you notice her name, Girl Friday, she's a parody on the Girl Friday archetype kind of character. If you don't know what a Girl Friday type character is, it's usually a female soldier that is in love with her superior officer. The joke here is that she hates Buick Starpoon. She was assigned to the Wild Rangers to basically babysit the team and be Buick Starpoon's second in command, because while they fight the Scumdogs every day and save the universe, they're also complete morons that do a lot of collateral damage and stuff. And because they were doing such collateral damage, the public got angry, and she was assigned to basically babysit him and his team, to basically be Buick Starpoon's second in command. Over here, we have Deathmug's henchmen, because in all 80s cartoons, the main villain of the cartoon would have henchmen and they would do his bidding, but they'd usually be complete morons. These are my morons. The big fat pink guy down here with shape-shifting powers is Sloppy, and the blue guy with the top hat up here is Murdermouth. These guys are basically a parody of Bebop and Rocksteady from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they're going to be fun when you read about them in my graphic novel. Here we have Hair Metal Doctor, who's another member of the Scum Dogs. As you see, he's a regular human. Hair Metal Doctor is a parody of a character from G.I. Joe known as Dr. Mindbender, a mad scientist. But my mad scientist is also a hair metal musician, because that's awesome. He was hired by Deathmug to be their mad scientist and think of all the machines they use to try and take over the universe. And here we have Miss Breasty Melons, who's basically a parody on the Baroness. Now, the Baroness is one of those femme fatale spy villain characters. She's one of those sexy female spies. Now, the joke here is, Miss Breasty Melons is basically a dumb blonde from California. She only became a villain because she was bored and rich, and she joined up with the Scum Dogs for fun. All right, I told you about my characters. Let me exit out of this. Now we'll move on. Let's see. Let's remember, folks, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Read Comics They're Bad For You, okay? The there is misspelled. It's THERE. If you want to watch the stream again, go to past live streams on my YouTube channel or use the link on the pinned tweet on my Twitter page, which is at 777 MegaChris1. That's at 777 MegaChris1. Or you can, as well as hit that hit that like button for me, because it helps me fight the algorithm, and hit that bell for notifications and make sure to hit the part of the bell that will give you all featured notifications. And please share this video out. Okay, now let's move on. Let's go over here to Indiegogo real quick and see what we have here. All right, here's Blade Devil Goes to the Past graphic novel. Not bad. Let me go down here. Here's Creepsters. Here's Thin Blue Line, Mike Barron's new book. It's made $22,099. It's got 25 days left, so go back it, folks. You can back this book. You can back this book for $25. You'll get a print copy, and it looks good. Let's go look at this trailer now.
Beginning with issue number 1, Mike Barron wrote Marvel's The Punisher for over 5 years, approaching it as a straight crime comic, without any superheroes, aliens, or robots. Over the course of 60 issues, Barron elevated the gritty anti-hero into one of the most popular and enduring characters in the Marvel Comics universe. Now he brings that same ultra-realistic intensity to his latest graphic novel, Thin Blue Line. In the middle of a long, hot summer, a police shooting ignites a city. Activists, opportunists, and provocateurs descend to riot, loot, burn, and kill. Thin Blue Line follows Officer Valeria Baca and her partner as their detail guarding the mayor turns into a battle for survival. Ride along on this harrowing tale of two brave law enforcement officers fighting for their community and their own survival in a world gone mad. Eisner winner Mike Barron has created an alarming tale that unflinchingly examines human fallibility on every level. Along with penciler Joe Arnold, himself a full-time police officer, and talented anchor Jeff Slemons, they've created a moving and entertaining story ripped straight from today's headlines. Thin Blue Line exposes the defund the police movement and its consequences for society, but several comic book companies have refused to publish it. Now we're asking you to join the effort to distribute it independently and help support the men and women of law enforcement. Get your copy of the only graphic novel to offer an unflinching and not always flattering look at the men and women of law enforcement during a time when we need them the most. Not all heroes wear capes.
That's Thin Blue Line, folks. Go back it. It's up on Indiegogo. All right, let's move on to something else and look at some more books. Here's Pirate Queen. It's made $31,027. It's got 13 days left, folks. Let's see. This is a 60-page graphic novel by Mandy Summers. You can back this book for $25. You have a choice of several different covers. Here's cover A, and here's cover B. There's also a cover C, which is a naughty cover, as you can see. You have a variety of different perks you can back as well. Each of them looks pretty good. You can also get the Keisha action figure as well. One action figure of the main character, Pirate Queen action figure, shipped to you in a mailing address for $10. That looks pretty good as well. You also have the new Booty box right here, which is $225. You get 3 physical copies of Pirate Queen 2, cover A, B, and C, 1 physical copy of Pirate Queen 1. Yeah, you can get a reprint of Pirate Queen 1 with a new cover, and 3 trading cards and 3 6x9 art prints, 1 Keisha action figure, the 24-page digital adult story, the 24-page physical art book, and 1 8x10 sketch 8x10 sketch by Clint Helinski, shipped to you in a mail address. All right. Looks pretty good, huh? Let's look at this trailer now.
Dive into adventure with the Pirate Queen. Plunge your sword deep into that pirate booty. Stare in awe of that magnificent pirate chest. The Pirate Queen races across the universe in another all-out, action-packed galactic adventure. Don't miss out. The Pirate Queen.
Not bad, huh?
Galactic
It's good, huh? That's pretty good, huh? Go back this book. It looks good, folks. All right. Now, folks, I think I'll move on to Winchester Mystery House. What to start here? I think the true story of the Winchester Mystery House through the Winchester's movie. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the Winchester Mystery House that was made by the wife of, yeah. We should read more about it. But this was made by a wife who feared that the Winchester rifle that was created created back in the 18th century, the 19th century to be exact, back in the 1800s. Well, she feared that all the ghosts that were killed by the rifle were going to haunt her for the rest of her life, so she created the Winchester Mystery House to basically confuse them. We're going to be talking about her tonight, and we'll look more into it as we read these articles. So let's come along and have some fun, folks. Though the Winchester might be pretty scary, the true story behind the Winchester Mystery House and Sarah Winchester is even scary, eerier. Yeah, Sarah Winchester. There was no plan, no official blueprints were drawn up, no architectural vision was created, yet a once unfinished house took a shape on a sprawling lot in the heart of San Jose, California. All right. California. Inside, staircases ascended through several levels before ending abruptly. Doorways ended up to blank walls and corners rounded to dead ends. This sounds very much like Rose Red, the Stephen King novel, Mansion and stuff like that. In fact, Rose Red was based on the Winchester Mystery House. If you don't know whether that is anything like that, but you get the idea. The Winchester Mystery House sounds like one weird place, huh? The house was the brainchild of Sarah Winchester, heir by the marriage to the Winchester firearms fortune. And since the project began in 1884, rumors have swirled about the construction, the inhabitants, and seemingly endless maze that sits at 525 South Winchester Boulevard in San Jose Boulevard, Winchester, huh? The origins of the Winchester mystery and its tormented creator. Here's Sarah Winchester. Today, the house is known as the Winchester Mystery House, but at the time of its construction, it was simply Sarah Winchester's house. Feel free to leave me a few chats, folks, okay? Sarah Winchester was the widow of William Wirt Winchester, heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. Born around 1840, Sarah Winchester grew up in a world of privilege. She spoke 4 languages, attended the best schools around, married well, and eventually gave birth to a daughter, Annie. However, tragedy struck in her late 20s when Annie died followed by the death of Sarah's husband, William, more than a decade later. After William's death in 1881, Sarah inherited roughly $20 million, over $500 million in 2019 dollars, as well as 50% of the Winchester Arms Company, which left her with a continued income equal to $1,000 a day, $26,000 a day in 2019 dollars. Newly in possession of a massive fortune and struggling with the loss of her husband and daughter, she sought the advice of a medium. She hoped perhaps to get advice from the beyond as to how to spend her fortune and what to do with her life. Though the exact specifics remain between Sarah Winchester and her medium, the story goes that the medium was able to channel dearly departed William, who advised Sarah to leave her home in New Haven, Connecticut, and head west to California. As far as what to do with her money, William answered her that too she was to use the fortune to build a home for the spirits of those who had fallen victim to the Winchester rifles, lest she be haunted by them for the rest of her life. Building the Winchester Mystery House. Here's a picture of the Winchester Mystery House. Let me blow it up a bit. Yeah, look at that weird thing. Okay, it doesn't look so weird on the outside, but All right, let me do that. Make sure that. All right. In 1884, Sarah Winchester purchased what would later become known as the Winchester Mystery House. At the time of the sale, the house was a small, unfinished farmhouse, but that quickly changed. Winchester hired carpenters to work around the clock, expanding the small house into a 7-story mansion. Due to the lack of a plan and the presence of an architect, the house was constructed haphazardly. Rooms were added into exterior walls. Resulting in windows overlooking other rooms. Multiple staircases would be added, all with different sized rises, giving each staircase a distorted look. Strangers so was the fact that many of their alterations seemed pointless. Staircases would ascend several levels, then end abruptly. Doors would open to solid walls, and hallways would then turn a corner and end in a dead end. Additionally, Winchester insisted that the home be built exclusively out of redwood. However, she didn't like the look of the wood, so she insisted it be carved with a stain and a fox grain. By the time the house was completed, over 20,000 gallons of paint had been used to cover the wood. By the turn of the century, Sarah Winchester had her ghost house and oddly laid out mansion with 7 stories, 161 rooms, 47 fireplaces, 10,000 panes of glass, lots of basements, 3 elevators, and a mystery funhouse like interior. Okay, look at that. There's one of the staircases that basically go nowhere. Anyone who set foot in the home could tell that no expense had been spared. Gold and silver chandeliers hung from the ceiling above hand-inlaid penguin flooring. Dozens of artful stained glass windows created by Tiffany and stuff dotted the walls, including some designed by Louis Comfort, Tiffany himself. One window in particular was intended to create a rainbow effect on the floor with light flowed through it. Of course, the window ended up on an interior wall, and thus the effect was never achieved. Even more luxurious than the fixtures was the plumbing and electrical work. Rare for the time, the Winchester Mystery House boasted indoor plumbing, including coveted hot running water and push-button gas lighting available throughout the home. Additionally, forced air heating flowed throughout the house. Unfortunately, in 1904, an earthquake struck San Jose, and the Winchester Mystery House sustained a hefty amount of damage thanks to the floating foundation, a foundation that equals the weight of the surrounding soil. The house was saved from collapse. The top 3 floors were ultimately removed, leaving the house with only 4 stories as seen today. Right? A haunted legacy. But that is weird, huh? Throughout the years, long construction of the Winchester Mystery House, Sarah Winchester would never confirm that she was building a haunted house. However, stories and rumors swirled throughout San Jose. The contractors who worked on the house reported Winchester having daily seances with local mediums. In an effort to reach the good spirits, these good spirits were reportedly consulted to find out how to best appease the spirits whom she was allegedly building the house for. These spirits are reportedly what called Winchester to make so many illogical additions to the home. Look at that. The Winchester Mystery House at the time Winchester resided there, its 7 stories are visible here. Look at that weird thing. Jeez. And maybe I should blow it up a bit. Yeah, very weird looking. As I said, folks, leave me a few chats. I want to hear your opinions on this house. I want to hear what you have to say. What do you think about this? I mean, wow. Let's get back to this article. Far from the construction was completed, Winchester continued to make efforts to appease the victims of Winchester rifles. Out of the 13 bathrooms in the home, only one was functional, in an effort to confuse any ghosts wishing to haunt a spigot. Furthermore, she would sleep in a different room every night in the Winchester house and use secret passageways to get from room to room so that no spirits could follow her. In the year Sarah Winchester lived in the house, the residents of San Jose whispered about its strange construction and even stranger inhabitant, but it was in the years after her death the wild stories became even wilder. After her death in September of 1922, Sarah Winchester left all of her belongings to her niece Marion, who had served as her personal secretary later in life. However, the Winchester Mystery House was never mentioned in her will, adding to the mystery of the home. After appraisers deemed the house worthless due to its strange design, damage from the earthquakes, and long-winded construction, Marion took everything in it and auctioned it off. The current owners of the house claim it took 6 weeks to empty the house of all furniture, though this report is uncorroborated. After the house was emptied, a local investor purchased the home for a cool $135,000. Just 5 months after Sarah Winchester died, and the Winchester Mystery House was open to the public for tours. The mystery continues to swirl at Sarah's mansion. One of the bedrooms Sarah Winchester slept in, decorated with period but not original furnishings. All right. Despite being fully emptied and refurnished, open for business, the Winchester Mystery House continued to surprise. While Sarah Winchester was alive, stories were told of a strange room in her home filled with over $25,000, over $300,000 a day worth of undisplayed riches, including a Tiffany window designed by Winchester herself, featuring a spiderweb design. In 2016, a secret attic was discovered, though there's no proof it was the same secret storage room, including the attic where a pump organ, a Victorian-era couch, a dressing room, a sewing machine, and various paintings. A year later, rooms that were never opened to the public were put on display, including a section of the home that had remained unfinished at the time of her death. Even 95 years after her death, it seemed that Sarah Winchester's house was still holding on to some secrets. All right. Here's part of the mystery house. A plaque on the side of the house dictating a landmark. All right. Secrets that fuel pop culture's obsession. The house in 2018, Helen Mirren starred in Winchester as Sarah Winchester herself. The story took the rumors about the hauntings in the house and ran them with them, depicting a woman crazed by the ghosts of Winchester rifles. Filming for the movie took place at the actual Winchester Mystery House. Additionally, the home has been the setting of numerous supernatural horror movies and novels, as its mere existence provides ample inspiration. Since her death, little has been uncovered about Sarah Winchester and the reasoning behind her obsession with building the Winchester Mystery House. She gave no interviews, left behind no journals, and had no family willing to speak about her. Occasionally, visitors to the home will report feeling the spirits that have long resided in the home through a course of paranormal investigations have turned up nothing. But perhaps there are still some spirits haunting the abode, maybe even Sarah Winchester herself. After all, she built the house for the spirit world, for the dead, and why not take advantage of it herself? Okay, that's an interesting little article. What do you think about that, folks? What do you think about Sarah Winchester? Why she built that house? We got more articles and stories to look through, and we're going to be talking about actual ghost stories people have seen of the place as well when I find them. But what do you think about all this? It's very odd, very insane. Sane, huh? Over here we have let's see. Right here. The Bizarre Tale of the Winchester Mystery House. Winchester Mystery House ready for Christmas. Look at those. Probably trying to find some information. I know people have actually seen ghosts at the Mystery House, or at least supposedly. One time, this guy who was working on the house, basically repairing some stuff, said that he saw a woman in weird period clothing behind him or some walked past him. Another person who was basically on a tour there said he saw a workman working on the unfinished part of the Mystery House as well. So yeah, there are stories of there being ghosts there. The 1800s, there were a few names as widely known as that of the Winchester of the infamous gun manufacturer, the Winchester Repeating Arms Company, which carried the name of the family who had built an empire out of weapons and made a fortune off the blood of others. The big man himself, Will Winchester, died of tuberculosis in 1881. He left behind his wife, Sarah Winchester, and a vast fortune. Sarah would inherit a large portion of this fortune, as well as half ownership of the massive gun company her husband had helped build, and it looked as if she had nothing to worry about ever again, instantly becoming one of the richest, most powerful women in the country. At the time, no one probably could have predicted the odd turn of her life would take from then on. One would spiral into one of the weirdest houses there is. Following the death of her husband, Sarah was in a state of deep mourning, having never quite gotten over the death of her daughter some years before in 1866, and it was perhaps this dependency and misery that guarded her and what she would do next. She suddenly left behind her entire life in New Haven, Connecticut, taking her substantial money and relocating to the other side of the country to start a new life in California. I know this is some stuff we have covered already before, but maybe we can get some more information. At San Jose, there are then a rather rural hamlet. She, in 1884, purchased a rather modest for her and unassuming 8-room farmhouse on 44 acres of land covered in quaint apricot and olive orchids. She quickly became known as an eccentric recluse, eternally dressed in a long, stifling black outfit of mourning, even in the sweltering California heat, and rarely talking to anyone, but she would soon become more well known for her odd obsession with ceaselessly building and reforming her home in a bizarre renovation project that would span the next few decades and the rest of Sarah Winchester's odd life. Here's another picture of her. 16 carpenters and numerous construction workers were brought in to work on building and redesigning the house, nonstop 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and very little of it made any sense. Hundreds of rooms were added, many for no reason of discernible purpose. Windows were stuck in odd places, numerous fireplaces built, towers, stairways that led nowhere, countless passageways, and thousands of doors, some that would open to nothing at all, such as walls, dead ends, steep drop outside, a cabinet that extends through 30 rooms, and numerous other oddities. Yeah. Some rooms, here again, some more information. Some rooms held smaller rooms within them. Others have balconies on the inside. Trapdoors led to nowhere, and staircases switched back and forth for no reason, which led directly to the ceiling. To make all of it even weirder was that the designs and plans were constantly changed without notice, and with structures torn down before they were even finished, to be rebuilt or whole rooms plastered over. And sometimes Sarah would suddenly deliver brand new plans scrawled on pieces of paper by hand at a moment's notice to the baffled carpenters. This haphazard construction went on day after day, and no expense was spared. There were extensive indoor plumbing and hot running water, both pretty big luxuries in the day, as well as 3 elevators, a high-tech heating system, and the most expensive stained glass windows that money could buy. If they sometimes merely overlooked a wall or nothing at all, there were also opulent silver and gold chandeliers, countless panes, and the most lavish furniture. Okay, we were covering most of the stuff we've already covered. In the void of any real answers, rumors of heresy. One of the most popular theories then and now is that Sarah Winchester had felt guilt over the deaths that had been caused by her company's products. She supposedly became convinced. We're getting to more information right here. I look at the architectural anomaly to speculate on just why it was being done in the first place. I'll read this part here. Considering that Sarah wouldn't talk about it with anyone and that the construction workers were tight-lipped and refused to speak with the reporters, no one had the slightest idea what had spawned this continuously growing, sprawling estate. Oh, yeah. One time, what was it? Teddy Roosevelt? Theodore Roosevelt? Teddy Roosevelt, once tried to go to the Winchester Mystery House, and when knocked on the door, Sarah Winchester told him to go away. The president at the time and stuff like that. And that was amazing if you think about that. Very amazing. Like as I was reading this, let me say this. Yeah, they know the carpenters wouldn't talk about it. Their family wouldn't talk about it. No one, any reporters asking questions wouldn't get any answers of what was going on. In the void of any real answers, rumors and hearsay swirled. One of the most popular theories then and now is that Sarah Winchester had felt great guilt over the deaths that had been caused by her company's products. She supposedly became convinced that she was somehow cursed but haunted by the vengeful spirits of the Winchester firearms victims, and a spirit medium was rumored to have told her to move west and begin her project, saying that only with a non-stop building would these restless spirits be appeased. According to this tale, she really believed that if the home was ever completed, that she would be doomed, and so building went on and on with no end in sight, much to her of it designed to confuse the ghosts, and with her going so far as to sleep in a different room every night and to baffle those nefarious wraiths. This rumor was bolstered by the stories of nightly seances being held in one of their house towers, as well as many ghosts seen on the premises. In fact, Sarah was claimed to have actually divined the plans for the house from contact with spirits, scrolling them down to pass to the carpenters. It is a popular legend surrounding the house, but no one actually has any idea whether any of it is true or not. And indeed, we still don't know exactly why she did what she did. As rumor word about the construction continued on, only stopping briefly in 1906 when the Great San Francisco earthquake partially demolished it and caused some areas to be closed off entirely. This constantly changing, evolving, and devolving, never-ending obsessive construction continued until Sarah died there in 1922, and by that time it would sport 160 rooms spread over 24,000 square feet, 13 bathrooms, 40 bedrooms, 2 ballrooms, 3 elevators, 2 basements, 47 fireplaces, although there are only 17 actual chimneys, 6 kitchens, 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, and innumerable trapdoors, maze-like passages and staircases, and fixtures with new forgotten rooms, cubbyholes, and secret passageways built over and occasionally uncovered right up into the modern day. Throughout all of the cryptic engravings, inscriptions, and occult symbols hidden within, it is all quite perplexing. At the time, this place was the largest private residence in the country, and all of it had a big question mark hanging over it, the only one who knew the answer having taken them to the grave with her. After Sarah Winchester's death, the entire estate was inherited by her niece, who ended up auctioning it off because it's off-kilter design, the sheer absurdity and insanity of its layout made it fairly worthless for the average buyer. It would be bought and opened for the public display in 1923, and the mysteries only continued from there. Secret attics and rooms are sometimes turned up, and there is a rumor that a hidden treasure lays buried somewhere within its walls. Yet even stranger are the stories that the place is haunted, apparitions, disembodied voice, cold spots, visitors being tapped or nudged by unseen hands. You name the paranormal activity, and the Winchester house probably has it. Okay, we're getting to new stuff here. Tales of the hauntings famously attracted the attention of the great magician Harry Houdini, who came to debunk it all as an illusion caused by the building's surreal design, and came away not quite sure what to think in the 1990s there. There was also an extensive month-long paranormal investigation carried out here by parapsychologist Christopher Corcoran that, according to him, supposedly scientifically documented a variety of unexplained phenomenon. Whether it real or not, stories of hauntings of what is now known as the Winchester Mystery House have continued right up to the present, just more secrets among many to be found here. However, perhaps even more mysterious than any ghosts or paranormal phenomena is Sarah Winchester herself. Even now, it is not known just what compelled her to go on her decades-long crusade to build this odd monstrosity, or what drove her to her deeply eccentric ways. She never talked about it with anyone, didn't keep any journals, and her family has never spoken of it. What possessed her to build this outlandish place? Was it really all to appease and confuse the ghosts she was sure were plaguing her? Was this commanded by spirits from beyond the realm of her understanding? Or was it just a bizarre hobby of a troubled, lonely, and very rich eccentric? We will probably never know, but in the meantime, the house, which sits upon the National Register of historic places has been the subject of a recent movie called The Winchester, starring Helium Mirren, and is open to public tours. So the next time you're in San Jose area, maybe check it out and see what you think, and to tell me if you see any ghosts when you're there. All right. That was an interesting little article. Ask again, folks, leave me a few chats. What do you think about this weird story? We also have this over here to check out. Here's the website for the Winchester Mystery House. All right. That's Houdini's Spirited Escape. Learn more. Book your special event. This is the website for the mystery house and stuff like that. Hours, parking, contact, donation, cheers, news, employment, legal, privacy terms. I was hoping for a bit more information in the Winchester Mystery House. I was saying if there are any stories, tours, plan your visit, our story, weddings and events. Okay, our story, history, timeline, Winchester movie, history. All right, I'm going to see if I can't find any ghost stories. We already talked about the Winchester Mystery House. Oh, is this what the Winchester? Here's the Winchester Mystery House. This is what it looked like before it was altered. The move out west. Ahead of her time. All right. A top destination. Tours, buy tickets. Is that it? Maybe I should just look for ghost stories. Been ready for Christmas. Mystery booms return to Illinois and Arizona. I was hoping for more information, a few ghost stories, because I know people have seen ghosts at the Mystery House, even though some people said that no investigators has found any real data, because people have said they've seen ghosts at the Mystery House. But what do you think about that, folks? It's all highly entertaining. We could go to look at this Winchester Mystery House Ready for Christmas story right here and look at that real quick while we're trying to find other stuff. One of the most haunted houses in America, decked out for holidays, located in San Jose, California. San Jose, California. The Winchester Mystery House is a well-known tourist destination that attracts visitors from all over hoping to catch a glimpse of the many ghosts that inhabit the mansion. And it's not just the spirits that attract so many tourists. The confusing architecture of this 24,000 square foot mansion leave people speechless, such as the maze-like hallways, stairs leading nowhere, and doors with solid walls behind them. Here's another picture of the mystery house. Very odd looking, huh? Ooh. The history of this enormous house began as a simple 8-room cottage that was purchased by Sarah Winchester. Yeah. I'm going to see if we can't find any ghost stories and not read stuff we already read. Sarah believed that she could confuse the spirits by creating such confusing architecture in a house that they wouldn't be able to find her. In addition, having doors with walls behind them, doorways open up in much larger, smaller rooms. As for the ghosts residing in the mansion, numerous employees and visitors have experienced paranormal events. Here we found some more data on this. Add this, something like this. Indoors with walls. Yeah, this is stuff we already covered. I'm just going to go down here to see if we can't find any more ghost stories. As for the ghosts residing in the mansion, and the mansion, numerous employees and visitors have experienced paranormal events happening there, such as hearing disembodied voices, as well as capturing unexplained images and orbs and pictures they have taken. The most commonly seen ghost there is a man in the basement who was wearing white overalls and pushing a wheelbarrow. Yeah, this is what I talked about. This is one of the workers, one of the carpenters who helped build the mansion. Now, one of the most haunted houses in the country is all decorated for Christmas. From November 16th until 31st, this mansion will feature holiday-themed tours with the Victorian holiday traditions, along with festive lights and ornaments on display, as well as 13 Christmas trees located around the house. And of course, there will be music. Other special events include Breakfast with Santa, where guests can enjoy a holiday breakfast meal as well as listen to stories from Santa Claus himself. And it's not Christmas without gingerbread houses, so naturally there will be gingerbread house building events. Well, the Winchester Mystery House is so haunted that it would be the perfect place to visit for Halloween. The fact that it's now currently all decorated for the holiday season is somewhat unnatural. And although there are festive lights and beautiful Christmas trees around the house, that doesn't mean that the ghosts won't come out and perhaps even play a holiday prank. All right. All right. History. The Winchester Mystery House was amazing. I'm going to see if I can't find some more information. Sarah Winchester and her spiritualist. A house fit for the spirits. All right. I'm going down here. Winchester Mystery House construction compulsion. We already talked about that a bit. The end of it all after, that's, I guess, no information. So I guess I might have to go over here. Let me go back over here. Let me do this. I'm going to see if I can't find ghost sightings. Ghost sightings. 6 months ghost stories ever told. Most famous ghosts. Haunted history. Winchester Mystery House. Ghost stories about the Winchester Mystery House. Let's go look at this one. All right. Let me get this here. Get this right here. Also, I should probably let me do this as well. Get this up here in case we have some more stories about ghosts. Right there. Let me get this right here. Right there. And now do this. But let me go back over here. Three ghost stories, the Winchester Mystery House, okay? So let's be looking at this. Or here's another picture of the house. Well, interesting. Named one, the most haunted places in the world by Time Magazine. San Jose's Winchester Mystery House has been the site of many spectral sightings, drawing international paranormal investigators and psychics, including the late Sylvia Brown. Or seriously, Sylvie Brown. But even everyday employees and visitors have experienced the unexplained and hair-raising, the downright ghostly, so much so that the mansion's website, Winchester Mystery House, has collected dozens of personal stories. I tried finding them. Here are just a few courtesy of Winchester tour manager Joan Burham, the case of the ghostly handyman. Here we're getting more talk about it. Some of Sarah Winchester's loyal workmen and house servants may still be looking after the place, according to signs of figures or the feelings of a presence, reported many times over the years by tour guides and visitors alike. One frequent apparition is a man with jet black hair who's said to have been a former handyman. He's been seen repairing the fireplace in the bathroom or pushing an equally spectral wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrows indeed linger in the beyond, down a long, dark hallway. The secret of the invisible hand. Several years ago, a man... Oh, let me get back over here. Sorry, folks. Feel free to leave me a few chats and stuff. All right, signs of figures. Several years ago, a man working on one of the many restoration projects. This is the story I'm talking about. In the mansion, started early days in a section with several fireplaces known as the Hall of Fires. The house was dead quiet before tours got in her way, and he was working on a ladder when he felt someone tap him on the back. He turned to ask what the person wanted. No one was there. Reassuring himself he just imagined the sensation, he went back to work, only to experience what it felt like someone pushing against his back. That was enough. He hurried down the ladder, crossed the estate, and started on another project, figuring that someone or something didn't want him working the Hall of Fires that day. The sign of a heavy sigh. A tour guide named Samantha recently led visitors to the Daisy bedroom, where Sarah Winchester was tapped to trapped during the 1906 earthquake. Samantha was about to begin her spiel when a very clear sigh came from the small hallway outside the bedroom door. Thinking one of her guests had merely fallen behind, Sarah turned to call the person into the room, but saw no one. Then, as her eyes adjusted to the darkened hallway, she did see something, the form of a small green person, slowly emerged, gliding around a corner. Samantha quickly stepped around the corner and again saw nothing, but heard yet another deep sigh. She felt it was a tiny form of Sarah Winchester herself, perhaps peeved to find people in her favorite bedroom. Okay, I think I remember this story. Let me go down here. Is that it? Is that it? Interesting, though. Mystery House. History. I looked at that. I guess that's it. Let me find some more and stuff like that. So you can't find any more stuff here. Hey, I did two. I got another thing. I'm trying to find where I put it. But what do you think about all that, huh? What do you think about those ghost stories? What do you think about them? Very strange and very bizarre. And maybe go back over here. Let me see this. Plan your visit, our story, weddings, events about online store. Tours, plan your visit, wedding events. Maybe events. Our story. Timeline, Winchester movie, history. I guess maybe use timeline. I'm hoping to find some more stories that basically I want to just look at other stories about the Winchester house. Just talk about various stories and stuff like that. Can't seem to find it. The timeline. I'm bored. But very odd. Very odd stories and stuff like that. I'm a bit tired, folks. Sorry about that as well. But what do you think about the Winchester Mystery House? Do you think it's real? Do you think Sarah was actually haunted by the ghosts? Because, some people said, no, this place isn't haunted, or other people say it is haunted. So it's very odd to think about. And stuff. Very, very odd. Honestly, I just don't know why they would stick around either. I might stick around just because I find the whole place to be funny to look at. I would love to go to a place like this, the Winchester Mystery House, because it looks like it would be a fun place to visit or just go to and stuff. But I don't really know about that. But do you think she was haunted? Do you think the ghosts would prowl the area? Has anyone seen any of the people that were actually killed by the Winchester rifle? Or do you think it's just Sarah herself and her workmen that stick around and basically spook people and stuff? I don't know. It's all rather odd. Very odd and stuff. But it's such fun to read about such stories, don't you think? When you think about this, ghosts. You're basically not human. Ghosts used to be people, but when you die, you lose your body and you're not human. So, and you can go anywhere. So why would people or ghosts spend time at the Mystery House? I'd say because it would be fun, and basically walking through its walls would basically be like a party. So yeah, I think that would be very interesting to see and stuff like that, or if you would wanted to. Let me think of some other stuff as well as look at other articles about this place. Or at least try to and stuff. I'm trying to think of something here. As I said, there are numerous stories. Yeah, there are numerous stories about the Winchester Mystery House, and as I said, folks, I'm sorry if I'm tired. I'm just really tired right now. And I'm trying to find something here. But what do you think? Leave me a few chats. I would love to hear your opinions on the Mystery House and what it's all about. Let me try again to find a Chester. Let me try this. Winchester Ghosts. So, let me try that again. Let's see if I can get some more stories up here. There's this, like that. New study reveals Texas is the most haunted state. Early American spirit possession. What fuels conspiracy theories? Former government UFO investigator. Damn, I was hoping for a few more. Let me go over here. No, I guess this is it. Here we are. Let me try this. Real ghost stories. Let's see. Let me try to get the Winchester up here. Ghosts, ghost books, ghost lights, ghost stories. Let's see. Winchester Mystery House. Let me see if I can get some up here, huh? Winchester Mystery House, Sister Winchester Mystery House history. Okay, very odd. That visit Winchester Mystery House when Joseph Expedient. Let me do that real quick. Doesn't look like it. I'm trying to find some more stories, folks, and basically in this live stream with some fun. I'm trying to find some ghosts. Let me go over here and do this. So you can't get any stories up. We had some fun up till now, folks, but I can't seem to find any other Winchester stories. So let me try this again. Winchester Ghosts. Let me try this. UFO Insights Digest. UFO Digest. Search result for Winchester Ghosts. Has the mysterious black lady ghost been spotted? All right, very odd. Let's see. Why do you think these ghosts would stick around in this place? I mean, what could they get out of it? I mean, or Sarah, it's obviously her home, so I understand that fact. But why would the soldiers or the carpenters who died there stick around? Is there something basically keeping them there? Why haven't they moved on to the other world? I just don't know, folks. But it's all highly interesting to think about and to talk about. That much there that is true. So it is fun about this. It is fun to think about and stuff. So that is also true. I want to hear your ideas on this, folks. Feel free to tell me anything you want in the chat, as well as any other stuff. But honestly, I think Sarah here was probably went slightly insane after the death of her family. So and basically moving out to California, probably she thought was a good idea, and building this house because she was told to do so. At first it was probably just something she did, but after a while it just became fun, and people looked at her funny on the street whenever she passed, wondering if she was insane or not for building the Winchester Mystery House. I imagine at some point it just became fun just for her to do it, and not have anything to do with ghosts, which is also something that can be said. But I don't know. But they just kept building. Sarah just kept building her silver. Yeah, she just kept building her house bigger and bigger until she died. I mean, even an earthquake hit the place, and she didn't stop building onto the place. She just basically got rid of anything that was damaged and just kept building up. That was amazing. She didn't quit on that, at least. So that's also highly entertaining. But really, do you think the house was ever? Do you think the house has ever actually been haunted. I don't know, but people have said they've seen ghosts. But other people who are more experts in the field, they haven't met any ghosts at all in this place, apparently. At least I've heard something like that. So that's also something to consider. But it's all very interesting. But do you think that? Let's see, Sarah's. Do you think Sarah herself still lives there? And what about those carpenters? Why would they stick around? Did anyone die on the place or get murdered? I don't know. It's been over 100 years and stuff, or at least close to it since house has been put up. So I guess the carpenters could have stuck around because they found fun building this place and find a good place to spend eternity. Maybe. I don't know. But we're coming to the end of this live stream, folks. So please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay. Today has been a great live stream. We had talked about this house that was built by its creator, who was terrified of spirits and ghosts and wanted to save herself by building this mansion for them. So that's entertaining to read about. But we've come to the end of this live stream, so please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Read comics, they're bad for you. Remember that there in the title is misspelled. It's THERE. Yeah, if you want to watch this live stream again as soon as it's done, go to past live streams on my YouTube channel, or you can use the link on the pinned tweet on my Twitter page, which is at 777 MegaChris1. That's at 777 MegaChris1. Leave some comments down below. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that like button for me because it helps me fit the algorithm, and the more people that do so means more people will back my graphic novel Scumdogs because you hit that like button. So hit that like button for me, as well as hit that bell for notifications, and make sure to hit the part of the bell that will give you all future notifications. And please share this video out on Twitter and Facebook, or just share this video. All right. Remember, folks, go over and subscribe to Stitch Together Picks. Stitch Together Picks is a YouTube channel that deserves far more subscribers. He reviews movies, and they are great. He plays this character who has multiple personality disorder called the maniacal cinephile. So you're not just getting one character, you're getting a whole lot of them, and they are fun as hell to watch. So go and subscribe to Stitch Together Picks, as well as go over and subscribe to Creepy Little Book. Go and subscribe to Robot Co-op. Robot Co-op is like Mr. Science Theater 3000. Basically, they do live streams, but they use these puppets in their live streams, and they are fun. They play video games and live stream it. They have the puppets along with them, and they tell jokes and have fun. So go and subscribe to Robot Co-op, as well as go over and subscribe to Creepy Little Book. Creepy Little Book is like the Art Bell radio show. He does videos almost every night, but he also every weekday night. He also does little videos talking about high strangeness that talk about these weird things. We also live streams almost, as I said, every night. He talks about ghosts and aliens, and you learn so much from his live streams. So go and subscribe to Creepy Little Book. All right, folks, I'll be back again tomorrow around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 9, 10, or 11 o'clock p.m. for another live stream. Okay? I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdogs Kennel. Thank you all for joining me.